Okay, I think it's time to start. I hope it works. I hope I'm not starting my first stream with no audio and no video or anything like this. I really do hope that it's working. How can I check this? This is working. Okay, I know it's working. Okay, on my YouTube stream thingy shows nothing, but let me quickly check. Oh, yeah, YouTube doesn't work. Let me quickly troubleshoot what's going on. Ah, okay, I don't know how to schedule streams. That's what's up. Can I just try this? Ah, panic mode, panic mode. Okay, whatever. I will sort this out later. I don't know how to schedule streams properly on YouTube. Whatever, whenever. Let's just go with the flow. Okay, so hi. This is my first stream. Of course, something doesn't work. That's how it's supposed to be, my dudes. How about a little bit of an intro? Who the hell am I? And what am I gonna to talk about? So, where's my thingy? My name is Ada. Also, my name is Ada also, and I'm a game developer. I have been working as a professional game programmer since 2015, right? And I have been working at Techland. You can see I cannot type. I've been working at Techland, then I've been working for Flying Wild Hogs, and right now I'm on a B2B contract with the Creepy Jar working on Star Raptor. What's this channel gonna be about? Well, it's going to be about learning about game development, but I'm going to choose a little bit different side than usual. Instead of me being like, oh, I've been all these almost 10 years in game development and I've been coding all this shit, let me here tell you how to make these games, how to code the best there is. Nah, it ain't gonna be like this, because such thing doesn't exist. I've been in this game for 10 years and I'm learning a lot of shit, and I still will be learning a lot of shit. I'm a forever student, so I think that that's the best approach. So the idea here is, first of all, to be completely real with you, which means I'll be super honest. Things will be breaking, I will be making stupid mistakes, then I will be trying to fix those mistakes. I will be not understanding how a given plugin works. And then while trying to make it work, I will be learning how plugin works, because that's how it happens in real life, at work, when I'm working. I'm supposed to do something that I never did before. I'm trying to do something, reading about it, trying my hand at it, it doesn't work. I'm bashing my head at the wall until it works, right? That's kind of how it is, right? So I'll be completely real with you. There's like no preparation for what I'm about to show you. It's not like I did some project and now I'm faking it like, oh, I'm doing this on the stream so quickly. No, no, no. You will see the real shit going down here. Ain't nothing fake about this. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing that I want to establish, that it's going to be completely real. I will be making an ass out of myself. I have a high degree of imposter syndrome, so it's kind of hard for me to show off my things, especially if we will come down to mathematics skill. I will probably shoot myself in the head, but whatever. It's going to be real. And I want to tackle topics, at least at the beginning, that are outside of my regular curriculum, because like everyone else, I have lots of blind spots, right? My knowledge. I could just enumerate a shitload of them. Like, for example, I'm not very good with movement code, right? Never had the big opportunity to create some crazy movement system, so movement code is my lacking blind spot, right? Outside of programming, I'm not really good with design, right? I worked for 10 years in game development and I picked up some things here and there, right? When we are talking about meta design or, you know, like the bigger loops of the game, about story, lore, about the goals of the game, yeah, I'm there with you. But when it comes to like a simple primary action design, when you just take a gamepad or mouse and keyboard, you press a button, the input makes your character in the game do something, and you feel that, you know, the spot in your brain has been hit and you're like, oh shit, I did something cool, right? I don't have this kind of design, right? I don't know, I never really worked as a designer in a professional capacity. So, you know, I don't really know how to go from this to there. I know how to, you know, create like some progression designs, etc. I basically have a whole notebook full of notes about lores, progression designs, bigger ideas for video games, FIFA mid civilization or something like this. But it all doesn't matter because, you know, push comes to shove, I never really professionally sat down and be like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my arrow from a bow, and with placeholder assets, I will make it feel awesome and it will be all 100% me, not copying from other games. I don't know how to do this. That's one of my bigger blind spots. And art and tech art, I suck at it. Before game programming, I, you know, was an underground hip-hop beatmaker and a rapper, but that doesn't mean jack shit in the world of video games because I'm not good with art, creating art, or I'm not really great with tech art. I arrived at this scene from a completely different angle. I wasn't the guy that sometimes you will meet in this industry that, you know, he was writing his own engines and renderers, and, you know, he has been a tech art and then he changed into like a engine programmer or gameplay programmer or whatever. Nah. For me, I already started with like gameplay programming, right? So on the tech art side of things, I'm not that amazing, right? So this is like a blind spot and I'm being real with you, and that's what I will be also covering here. And these blind spots, there are a lot of stuff that I could just enumerate here. And I hope at one point in time I will be able to take care of all of it. But it's a never-ending pursuit, really. So it's not about achieving the goal of being the ultimate super saiyan programmer and game developer. Nah, it's about, you know, constantly learning, challenging yourself, and by making lateral movements when learning game development, in turn, my bet, my hypothesis is that I will become a better game programmer. Because before I knew how to make 3D art, I wasn't really 3D models, I wasn't really making the great code for artists to integrate with. But then I went through learning how to use Blender, made a couple of 3D models. I had to place UV maps and I wanted to kill myself during this. My brain is not made for this, but I did it. And after that, I am like way better game programmer because I can do just way more. I touched on something that I never touched before and I'm better for it, right? And I actually felt the effects of this whole thing. Let's see if I'm still streaming or am I just talking to myself loudly. Does this thing work? How is this on YouTube? Ah, okay, it works. And on Twitch, still works. Okay, I'm still streaming. I have no idea how to check for viewers right now, but it doesn't matter, I'm just starting. I suppose viewers might come later. So, and I'm not doing it for that. The whole theme of all the future streams is learning the game development, covering blind spots, and what is it for you? Because I just talked a lot about me. Well, when you are learning how to make games or create art or do whatever in video games, you will see lots of tutorials that are just, you know, pre-packaged, prepared, and they are showing you the ideal way of going from some place to some place. And if you arrive at the problem, usually the tutorial won't cover it. You have to either go through comments, see if someone encountered the same problem. Maybe you will ask someone who created a tutorial, hey, I have this and this problem, will you help me? And you will be met with dead silence, right? So for you, what's in it is that I will be chasing a couple of topics, and because there's no preparation beforehand, I will encounter those problems and I will try to solve them live on the spot, or maybe never solve them. And I also will be one of the guys in the forums like, hey, how the hell do you do this shit, right? So that's the basic idea, that you will get to see problem solving of the problems that you might arrive at while trying to learn all this shit, right? And if I will manage to solve some problem, I will be posting about it, right? I will probably make a short like, hey, yes, I was like trying to integrate with this plugin, then I had this compilation error and I fixed it this way. Cheers, right? I will be doing something like this, right? Yeah, so that's the plan for the whole channel. Probably I should make an intro out of it for the channel or spot for later. So what will be the today's topic? Well, let me tell you all about it. Not needed, not needed. My name also right now not needed that. I'm working professionally with Unreal Engine. And when it comes to like making video games, that's the engine I will be concentrating on. I would love to make, you know, like a stream that, hey, Unreal developer jumps into Godot, etc. But I'm not ready for this shit yet. I don't know how to make streams yet. As I can clearly see, because I scheduled a stream that doesn't work. So I'm streaming in a weird way. Whatever. I will fix it later, learn it later. So these kind of topics of other engines and other software will be covered much later. Unreal Dev Fest is coming. To Europe, where I live, but not to Poland, where I live, sadly. But Prague, in Czechia, right? And it is in like 2 weeks, and I will be going there. And I saw one of the topics that will be covered there is so-called mover plugin, right? And I got really excited because for me, as I said, movement code is not my strong suite. But I was thinking, okay, maybe when I jumped ship to work professionally with Unreal Engine, maybe writing movement code will become easier for me. I will have easier time to learn how to do this. Well, not really. And I was also discouraged by other Unreal developers. They were like, yeah, just don't. Why? Because there's something called, right now, character movement component, right? That's how your main guy, when you are just starting a new project with a template, either first person template, third person template, absolutely doesn't matter. That's the component that your guy starts with, right? Your character. And that's how he moves around. And that's all cool and dandy. You look into this code, it is fairly complicated, as usually movement codes are, right? But you can make it work. You might want to try to add your own custom movement, right? There are tutorials that are covering this. There is documentation that is covering this, right? Right? That's all cool and dandy. But the problem arrives when you are trying to make multiplayer game, right? You're trying to make a multiplayer game. Well, World of Hurt. Because the way you need to write this code with like saved moves, etc. is kind of fairly complicated. A lag compensation, basically, it kind of works, but it's easy to mess it up, right? A lag compensation. And also when you are just starting a free project, a clean project, right? And you are profiling the network, you will see that, yeah, even without anything else going on the scene, most of your network is being eaten by the character movement component, right? And you'll be like, okay, because that's the only thing that is sending out the replication data, right? This is where the network replication happens. So of course, it will eat up all of the network, right? But from my own personal experience and from the experience of my friends at different companies, I heard of situations when they were working on multiplayer game. They optimized the fuck out of every other code. They are launching investigation into, you know, why there's so much lag. They are profiling it, and it's like, holy shit, character movement component takes everything. Okay, let's launch the clean project. It takes everything. Shit, we need to write our own character movement component, right? And sometimes it happens that bigger companies that have lots of programmers, they're like, yeah, this is cool, but we need something way more This character movement component that is in Unreal Engine is cool when you need to start something, or you are not making really a multiplayer game, but we are bigger, we have lots of coders, we can just create our own and, you know, try to do something. Which means if you're an indie developer, this option is kinda out. Or if you are, you know, a movement code expert, then yeah, probably it is in for you. But for a guy like me, it's like, okay, sure. What was happening later? There were like, I think, 1 or 2 attempts by Epic Games to create like a new movement paradigm. They didn't come to fruition, but Mover plugin did. It arrived in 5.4 version of Unreal Engine, and it's supposed to represent a new paradigm for making movement easier to create, especially in the network context in mind. So, in order to prepare for Unreal Dev Fest and the talk about Mover plugin, which will be given by, I assume, either the guy who created this plugin or some other specialist at Epic that is working with the plugin, right? Someone who knows what's up will be there and they will be talking, and I want to prepare myself. What better way to prepare myself than openly show how I'm trying to learn this mover. I never touched it. I haven't seen a single video about it. I only clicked enable on my clean project, with which I test every new feature in Unreal Engine. And that's it. I haven't done anything else. And I want to see what this is about. I want to learn a little bit more, so when the presentation will be happening, I might have an actual question, because I touched on that. Maybe I will be able to approach the guy and ask him like a couple of questions face to face. Some real shit like, hey, it's so cool, but I have this and that problem, right? We will see. I don't know what will happen. That's the beauty of it. I don't know if I will be able to even do anything with it. Maybe the stream will end prematurely because, I don't know, the computer will blow up. I think I will make like 2 streams. This week's stream and the next week's stream about that. Then Unreal Dev Fest happens, and I will try to sneak in the stream from the Unreal Dev Fest, give you a report. And what happens next, I will talk after Unreal Dev Fest, because I have some series that I could go on with here in mind. So, without further ado, let me push trusty drawing pad. Trusty, I only own it for like a month. And let's jump from Paint directly to what? To the Unreal Engine. It up. I work when I'm testing new plugins. My pro tip, if you are a beginner and even if you are, you know, like experienced, I used to work mainly on main branch from GitHub, but a lot of things gets broken almost every day because it's a main branch, it's a production branch, right? So I just use the Epic EGS version of an engine. Right now it's 5.4.2 from what I remember, right? Yep, 5.4.2. It's the version from the EGS, but I still, you know, created a project with code template because I expect that this mover plugin that deals with movement and network probably has some lines of codes that I want to look through. So I want to show you that I'm launching the Unreal Editor from code here, right? So let's get back to the... If you want to turn on the plugin, go to Edit, Plugins, Mover, you will see that, oh, there are 3 experimental plugins with main mover, which I assume contains all the code and data. Mover examples, which is I am grateful for that they created it, because I will look through it first to see what's going on and how to set up things. And from what I understand, these are unit tests for mover to see if it works, right? Or maybe something else. I don't know. I will look through it. After you toggle those toggle boxes as checked, restart the editor, come back here, you're live. So let's go to content drawer and turn on. Let's go into those examples. Am I going with time? Oh shit, I'm fast. Okay. I was expecting it will be longer. Okay, sure. If you don't see engine folder here in your content browser or content drawer, I don't really... you should go to settings, and here in the upper right corner of the content drawer, and pick the show engine content, show developers content, plugin content. Tick almost everything so you can see all the folders. That's where you will see engine, plugins in the engine, and then you could search through all of this stuff. And I'm searching for a folder named mover. There's something here. Yes, there's movement content, which doesn't contain anything. I was kind of expecting. C++ classes of mover. There's for editor. That's interesting. I will look into there. And here's the bread for today's stream. Mover example. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We have some characters. Okay, yeah, just our character that is being copied, but with its own animation blueprints and own... I think these are the same animations that are in the empty, clean project, but I see something that I haven't seen. Dash forward, dash right, so there are some new animations. Okay. Materials I think are the same, mesh is the same, rig for animating is the same. Yeah, basically it's like the improved character for show you if you were to start using mover for your project, here's how you could set up your character so it could work with plugin. Word of advice here. This plugin is in the experimental state, which means Epic is saying it's not shippable. If you're shipping your game, don't use this plugin because API might change. All of the interface functions and assumptions, all of the underlying architecture might change. They are throwing it out there. Freaks like me who are looking at those early examples, they are trying to see what the future will hold, right? And then they are getting feedback. They are making presentations about the topic, like it will be in the Unreal Dev Fest, and they are getting feedback, they are improving things. Oftentimes they are integrating things into Fortnite, etc, etc. I don't know if this will be happening with Mover. I will tell you if they will talk anything about this at the Unreal Dev Fest in Prague. Because it will be exciting if this plugin gets into Fortnite. That it's in a good place. It will be taken care of, right? So experimental means experiment with it, play around with it. You probably shouldn't ship it. But there are a couple of plugins, of course there are always a couple of plugins that are in the experimental state for years. and shitload of games have been released with them. So I'm not even sure if gameplay ability system plugin is out of experimental, but for years it's been in experimental and shitload of games have been released with it. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but bear with me. Gameplay. No, it's in the 1.0. Okay, so right now they are saying, yeah, it's shippable, but so many games have been shipped with GAS, as experimental. So there are plugins that are tagged as experimental, but games have been released with it, and it is standard for Unreal developers for a couple of years. And there are plugins that are experimental, and they are experimental for real, which means, yeah, it's 5.4, right? The 5.5, all of this shit might be completely changed, and you have to relearn a new. And if you are shipping the project and suddenly it breaks when you update to a new version, kinda on you. Okay. Characters gameplay. Ooh, there are some blueprint classes. Zip lines. Okay. Input mapping. I wonder if it is done with the yes, it is done with the new input plugin. Maps I will go into later. Some basic materials, probably for gameplay purposes. Motion model. B knife depth turn generator. Okay, I'm wondering what will be there. Our pawns, animated man. Physics man. Scripted AI. Okay. So it looks like this mover plugin examples are also covering how to implement movement for AIs, which is something that I haven't even considered. I thought that this might be a mover for player character. But on some real shit, why should you differentiate? The only difference between character moving, player character moving, and AI character moving is the input. In one case, the input comes from the player, right, from the gamepad or mouse and keyboard, or touch screen on mobile. In the AI, it's like a behavior tree or state tree or planner or whatever. Some system tells AI to go into something, right? So if they took this approach, that there are no hacks for player, if player then do something else, then I really like this. Controls. Okay. Let me go into maps. Character movement basics. Based movement. Based. Layered moves. Physics simulated character. Tech validation. Okay. I want to open the character movement basics. Seems like that's the first level to open. Maybe I'm wrong. We will see. Okay, hide. Okay, I have lots of stuff here. Launch ramp. Okay. Correction. Landmine. Okay. Step up. Walkable. There's okay. Animation root motion. Layered. Okay. Surface sliding. Ooh, some Titanfall shit. Will I be able to like wall run here? Cool. Ramps, teleportation, of course. Phases. Ledges. Oh, will I be able to trim it? Gaps. Okay. Okay, walking over gaps. Sure, I got you. Dash distance, ground end, and air end. That's cool. Enable, disable, trajectory, look ahead. Okay. Just starting. Oh, these are probably AIs walking place to place. Like an ice rank, low. They covered a lot of shit here. Possess pawn from map. Okay. Leave a pawn, pause, take a pawn. Sure. Okay. So, I will be testing it in a couple scenarios, really. Oh, hello, Sion. I wonder if I can make it give me some notification that I just got a chat message, because I don't know when it was. And my live streaming stuff not really working properly. Let me quickly manage this. Okay. How can I... Now I see it. No, I don't. Ah! YouTube is harder than the goddamn Unreal. Can I see it now? Yes, yeah! I don't see a timestamp. When did you stay on showed up and said that you, but yeah, let's go. Go back to rest stream. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to this. How I'm gonna to test it out. Well, first I will just walk around it first person, in a single player setup, and then I will turn on multiplayer, and I will be playing as a client connected to dedicated server. First without lag simulation, but then I will turn on lag simulation, 2 players, and from one player view I will see how the other player sees it. I want to see how lag compensation works, and if there is an error, which I assume it is, because if lag is big enough and package loss is big enough, of course you'll have movement errors, right? But I still want to see how it looks. Okay. Let's just hit play. Okay, oh. Okay, right in. MC mapping doesn't keep move with this. Okay, oh shit, it's so laggy. What is going on? Stop FPS. Oh, it's not laggy. There's some weird jitter effect. The ground went up. But character moves smoothly. Huh. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, maybe I can also pull up that. Yeah. Probably the graph is covered by my face. Okay, whatever. I still see the frames, etc. And I see, okay, things are working. Cool. We have AI going from point. It works with some... I have some smudge going on and I don't know what it is. Hell. I probably messed something up with the graphics card. Or... character. Okay, whatever. I will debug it later. You see, that's the realness I was talking about. Something's messed up with my video output right now. That's on some real shit. Ice rink, let's see. Oh yeah, I am sliding. Whee! But I turned off the controls. That's great. Yeah, I can just hide this. Yeah. Off controls, that's great. Whatever. Special move. If I zoom. Yeah. Correction. Cannot step it up. here, here. Okay. There's expect. And I cannot walk up here. Expected. Walkable. Oh, I almost. Oh, I can. Ah, because they're walkable. Oh, duh. Of course. But from what I see on the preview of the stream, I don't think you guys see this smudgeness that I have on my screen when I'm moving. Maybe it's just because of the stream. Whatever. Zipline. Jump and press E. Ooh. Extended pawn is required. Swap for extended pawn. Okay. I have to go here. Okay. Oh, I'm a green guy. Green guy means more shit to do. Okay. I can fly with F. And I... Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Fold over. Fold to fold. Oh, it's doing this check. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, what is happening right now? I suspect, that's my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that it makes a check that, hey, you cannot vault over it because the fall is too far, right? That's really cool. Of course, this is... Can't vault over, it's tall. Okay. Okay, I think I need to... Vault is left shift. Okay. Holy shit, that's cool. I can't vault over it. That's great. Can vault over. Okay, so there has to be a check. Or there is some fake here. Haha. I don't think so. There's double jump. Okay, how the hell do you dash? I wasn't paying attention, of course. Left control. ADS is... Ooh! ADS. Button start. Left control. That's cool. Let's see if it is true. That is true. Okay. That's really cool. Gaps. Okay. What about this? This was called ledges. I don't know. I wonder. Oh, I cannot use dash on ramp. Ah, I'm pressing the wrong button. I can use that. Actually works quite well. Okay. If I could just walk on something, that's cool. Okay. I'm moving on a moving platform. That's honestly cool. Because this is always kinda messed up. That one does. That one. That ADS works on it. Fly over it. That's great. What do we have here? Dessings. Okay. Ah, yeah, because of collisions. Okay, 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 I get you. Teleportate. Okay. That is what I'm interested in. But I don't know how to do. Surface. Why is my mouse so... Such a... There's some... Let's see this. Okay. Definitely has to trigger, have to... Oh, no, it's actually like... Ah, okay, what happens is... here is this animation drives the motion, which means the character is being moved not by code but by animation. That's what animation root motion movement means. And layered move means, like, what my hypothesis is it means we are layering code that moves character with the animation information. I can't wait to see. Okay, but it's all been, you know, there. There's F for fly. Spacebar. Oh yeah, F just turns on the fly mode. I want to know how to turn on the surface. Or did I probably made the wrong assumption that it is like a wall run. Probably it's just like, yeah, when you're just running forward, yeah, you're sliding. Yeah, sorry. I was too hyped on Titanfall 2. Yeah, so fuck me, I guess. It's about, you know, when you're just pressing forward and how you're sliding along the walls. Supposed to show you that. Okay. Let's get back to this extended pawn. I like him more. Or actually, no. Let's turn that off. Now. Now. Let's turn on the multiplayer. You can do this by just, here's your regular play in editor. Click those three dots here. Net mode. Here's number of players. I will be playing right now as one client. Now the engine will simulate the dedicated server and the client that connects to what I'm about. Now I am a client. Curious about. There is a slight no, there isn't. Okay. Works. The vaulting doesn't work. Here it worked. Ah, you have to press it, not hold it. Not Assassin's Creed, my dude. Okay. Not. There are less bugs. Sorry. I didn't mean to shit on any other game. It was just jokes. I wonder how it looks on stream. Does it jitter the same way? Yeah, kinda. I see. There's something wrong with the Unreal when I'm streaming it. Because I didn't have this thing when I was working today. You know. Okay. Now, let's kick it up a notch. If I remember, where do you do it? Network prediction. Lag. Good. Loss. Where did you turn on the package loss? Fuck, I don't remember. Was it in editor preferences instead of here? I don't remember, really. I haven't been using it such long. Oh, sorry, show me. Okay, I don't remember. So, what I will be doing right now is doing what you do in work, which is I don't remember the command or anything about where to turn on those package losses. So I'm typing in Unreal 5 simulate lag package. Yeah. blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what I'm... Yes, it was in play. It was in play, and it's not lag, it's latency, of course. Yes. Sometimes I don't love myself. Okay. That's how the day of a game developer looks like. You're like, how this... What was the name of that thing? Brain, you failed me. Yeah, and it was it's a preference here, and it's here. So, or it's not, and I'm just stupid. I will. Yes. Simulation term. Everyone. Average. Let's do average. Yes, and no. Actually, let's get back into it because this. I want smaller viewport, right? New viewport resolution. Yep, that's what I want. Because I will be playing two guys, right? And we are simulating average losses. It's cool that they are applying the network emulation profiling, so I don't have to think. That's great. That's this. I think I messed up some solutions. Doesn't matter. This one will be the observer, client 1. And this one will be the actual doer. So, first of all, whoa. Now that is funny. With the average, thus I'm already experiencing, I see problems. Funny, because with jumping there are less problems with like moving. It's so of errors. I not understand. Like a regular movement. Okay, I will go for the extended pawn. Let's see how zipline will. I expect that it will look fucked up. Okay. Yeah, when I was traveling upwards, it was showing on client 1 as if I was traveling downwards. Let me see. Holy shit, bro. It shows the opposite movement, and when I'm... something weird is happening. So I can already see that... I mean, one thing for sure, while movement is happening and we have bad network conditions, which means like, you know, everyone in your house is right now streaming 4K everything, right? Like 6 people in your house are streaming everything, whole block is burdened with the whole shit, internet provider is, you know, a jack off and things are blowing out, right? What this mover plugin does right now, from what I see, is that, yeah, while movement is happening, there's a lot of bad shit going on. But when I stop moving, and you know, I'm at the right place at the right time. There is no desynchronization after the move ends. Like, look at this. The move ended, I am in the same place. So this is good, because the main problem is desynchronization, which means, yeah, while, you know, network conditions are bad and evil, what happens after the movement ended, right? If on server and clients, the character that was moving ended up in different places in all of those systems, server to clients, it's bad. It's bad because it basically means, okay, the game is desynchronized, it will never synchronize back, we might as well just drop it and reconnect because, you know, we will never see the same thing, right? We are playing 3 different games right now. Dedicated server has a different game going on, and clients have a different game going on, right? And here, even though I am simulating average package loss, and I probably messed something up while setting up this test, because I see huge errors while movement is happening, but I end up at the same place in both clients and server, right? Which means, yeah, conditions are horrible, but once they pass over, everything will be in place, right? Because I can just, just double check it. I can just go here and see that, yep, we are. Client 2 is in the exact same position on his own viewport as he is client 1 viewport, right? So after the movement ended, we are in the same spot, which is good. Means that, okay, horrible network will pass over, the game will synchronize, and we can play once again, right? But there's one thing that I don't understand, and I will investigate it further. The thing that I don't understand really is server only. Incoming traffic, outgoing. Ah, yes, because everything was doubling. Okay, I see what I did. We weren't really simulating the average net loss, or we did, but we assumed that everyone has latency. Server has big latency in package loss, 1%, right? And all of the clients also. If we simulate that, hey, only server is lagging, right? The problem will be lesser. Because we only have like minimum maximal latency 30 to 60, which is fairly average. When back in my Apex Legends playing day, it was a regular ping that I was having and I could play without this kind of. So let's test it right now. Can I view the current package list or latency? Or I don't know how to do it. Okay, once again, let's go to this thing, Unreal Engine show current latency. Okay, I can set it up in a different way, but I was thinking like, like a command. Console command. .NET. Oh, of course, .NET. Yeah. Okay, that's regular state of my being. Like, okay, I use this. I don't remember anything. Okay. Stating correctly that the lost packages are changing, etc. We have a extremely high ping from what it's maximum. Yeah, the ping is actually super high. The ping is like 184, 112. Okay, so there will be shitload of errors, right? If this is our ping, 120, between 120 and 100, yeah, this will be errorful. Okay, let me turn it off. Yeah, again, this will be a main guy. Our viewer and fans. Ah, yeah, I'm not an. Yeah. It's better when I'm not. But it does crazy shit. Still does crazy shit. To a lesser degree. Okay, but My most thing that I was expecting the most is that, hey, maybe there will be a desynchronization. There is not. Which means this mover plugin is cool with synchronizing things after, you know, at the end of the movement, right? So that's great. Great. Okay, let's see how this thing is being actually built, right? So how should we go about this? Oh, there are like other levels. Okay, what's this? Testing zone. Enable, disable chat. Okay, there's a lot of things to cover. Layered moves. What is this? Linear velocity. Oh, that's cool. Swap for dashing. Rotate. Move to. Oh, you can create. That was push and pull with it. Velocity. Ramp to. Okay. So basically, this level shows you the example of how you can layer moves together to achieve something. That's cool. I have a standing desk, so right now I'm putting it into sitting position. Get through it. Rusty Goku Cup. There's a physics simulator. Okay. I can do this. And okay, now let me launch. We are now golden. Holy guacamole. And we have an ensure. Yep, I was kinda expecting it. Because we are still simulating with the average package loss, which means like 120 ping, right? And I see particle pair mid phase. It is actually from chaos. Yeah, because physics based movement, of course. And generate collisions called on two stationary objects. Oh, cool. But does it work still? Yeah, okay. That's why it's experimental. What I understand, this character is based, its movement is based physics, right? Instead of just like regular mathematical expression that says, yeah, as long as there is an input in a given direction, just go there, and this is the equation that describes the movement. Here it is like, yeah, let's apply the force, the character, and it will move in that way. That's what my assumption, hypothesis is. Okay, let me get back to here to still going through it. I might need more than just 2-hour streams. That's just occurring to me. But there's a lot of ground to cover, but we'll see. And there's something called tech validation and new mode. Okay. Remap new. Huh. Okay. Let's play it, but this time let me play it like this. And I tested if the synchronization occurs. Doesn't, so I can just that off. What does with my, why is it so slow? Remap new. Okay. I'm not sure if this works. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, this is fine. I won't. Like not. Collision. I think it might not. What is it? But it doesn't really. Unless the prayer character does. I'm not sure if this is. Yeah, I'm not sure if that level is. Okay, so let's get back to like my character move basics. Let's see this. Let's start going through this move. We have a zip line here. The BP zip line. It is a zip line and okay. Graph. There's not a lot of things here. Set, attach, enter component, cable A to B. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we have two things. Overlap box. Okay. How does it move? We see where the ending cable A to B. Here, pole A. But I see nothing that would tell the character, oh yeah, you are driving over the zip line. Because this is just a regular box collision. Nothing, it has to come from the player side of things. Okay. What happens here? Pawn swapper volume. Okay. Pawn swapper trigger volume. Just trigger volume. Okay, so everything I think is done with player? Because those trigger boxes literally have no logic to it. They have some tags. So trigger, yes. Just a trigger. Just a trigger that does something. Okay. All right. So I think we need to start digging into the player. Build data, okay. So let's go to our pawn. Let's see this. Great, my neighbor is blasting the noise. Fuck. I hope it doesn't come through. Tangible pawn. Yeah, character motion component. Here we go, baby. Walking mode. Falling mode and flying mode. Here we go, baby. Oh shit, there's a lot of modes. Okay, okay. Ziplining mode, walking mode. Now we're talking. Now we're in the meaty things. It's kind of like we were only eating appetizers and now the kebab arrived. Now the meaty, girthy kebab full of meat and salad and the great sauce arrived. This is my kebab. Okay, 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 okay. So we are talking. Let's get into character movement component, or we can just go through character first. It is our pawn, regular pawn, and has mover input producer interface. That's interesting. I will take a look at this a little bit later. So, for examples, character. Yes. Over example character. Just a regular pawn. It has movement. It has input actions. Fine. Yes. Okay. Orient. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there are lots of options, lots of inputs, right? On third input. Okay, so what happens is after the input happens, the flags for input are being saved, changed. They're like cached, which means we have memory of what was the last turn input, look input, move input, the velocity, etc, etc. Okay, okay. Begin play. Happens so. Then we have player input component set up, of course. Produce station. Okay, it's probably something with this, right? So right now, what I usually do when I'm learning new plugins is like, okay, I played through this experience. I see how it works. I see the expected results. Now I want to dig into code or blueprints, depending on the plugin, and see what makes it work, right? And there's a lot of things that I don't know. And I need to establish a couple of truths in order to work around it. And my truth that I'm trying to chase right now is, okay, after I press input, how the move happens, how this character mover component knows where to move, right? So I see that my main character inheriting something called mover input producer interface. Right? It is some kind of interface, from what I see, that you need to, what I understand, you need to inherit from. And as this comment is saying and explaining, this function, if you call it, is being called, it contributes to the input command for a given simulation frame. And this translates accumulated user or AI state into parameters that affect movement. Okay, so I know a little bit more so. Now I know that there's an interface that I need to inherit, And then it has a function that I need to always implement. It's the entry point for input production, right? And that, oh, that's interesting. This shit shouldn't be overridden. To extend and derive character types, override on produce input native types or implement produce input blueprint Eve. Okay, so this shit shouldn't be written. Okay, there is a produce input BP function just called on produce input. So I know another thing, like maybe I should start writing this down in here. So couple of proofs that I'm learning right now. I'm learning what I'm learning right now. I know that there's an input interface. Yeah, I cannot write like this. Input interface, right? That contains a function produce input, right? And that is the thing that takes inputs and changes it into an actual goddamn movement, right? In the given simulation frame. And from what I assume, this is my assumption, between simulation frames there is an accumulation frame, right? Which means between frames that are simulating movements, we are accumulating input, right? That's what I am assuming right now. We'll see if this will be true in 5 minutes. There's on produce input, right? Holy shit, a wall of text. Okay, let's go through it. Generate user commands. All right before the character movement simulation will tick for locally controlled pawn. So this means that before simulation will happen, this is being called. Okay. This isn't meant to be the best way of doing a camera assist. I didn't even assume it was. Okay, but why? It is just meant to show a couple of ways maybe done. How you can. Okay, so there will be a bunch of code that will show some camera system. And it's not supposed to be like, hey, this is how you set up a camera. It's supposed to show you that, hey, it can be done. There's one of the ways, right? Styles 1, 3 are really meant to be used with gamepad. Okay, I don't understand. Worth calling out. The code that happens here is happening outside of character movement simulation. Yes, that's what I assume, right? This is the input, and it's before character movement simulation, right? All we are doing is generating the input being fed into simulation. That's what I said. Produce input. We are accumulating here. Yeah, we are accumulating inputs, and then when the simulation happens, we are resolving, calculating those inputs, right? Okay, so all we are doing is generate. That said, this means that the code below does not run on the server. Of course, because input based, right? Inputs are not running on the server unless you are playing as listen server. But that's a different thing. And it doesn't run on non-controlling clients. Of course, because it's input, right? And B, the code does not rerun during reconcile, resimulate. Just this information guide any decisions about where something should go, such as aim assist, lock on targeting system, etc. It is hard to give absolute answers. It will depend on the game and its specific needs. In general, at this time, I recommend aim assist and lock on targeting systems to happen outside of the system. Example in here. But I can think of scenarios where that may not be ideal too. Okay, so what the creator of this code is saying to us is that, yeah, everything that happens here is not a part of movement simulation. This is just accumulating inputs for the simulation. And if you are trying to implement some camera tricks like aim assist or lock on targeting systems, this is the place in which you should take care of it in general. But depending on the game you're making, there can be a scenario where, you know, you will want to have aim assist and targeting system being a part of movement simulation. That's what the author means, right? So there's like out input command. What is the for input? The client generates this representation of input to simulated actor for one simulation frame. This can be direct mapping of controls or more abstract data. It is composed of collection of type structs that can be customized. Okay, so this is like our input commands, right? What I understand, this is basically like a buffer of all the commands that happen on the local machine of a player, right? Input connection find on Earth. This is like C++ thingy. F character def. And what is going? Mover data collect. Same different. Okay. This is data. Okay. So, input collection, as the name suggests, collects inputs that have been pressed during this frame, right? And some serialization over the... Okay, how to serialize it? Just how to serialize it. Okay. Then what we are trying to do is get only inputs of the character. So there might be lots of other data here, from what I understand, right? Because the data array here just contains pointers to things that are based on our data structure. Okay, so there can be lots of different inputs here, but for this mover examples character, we are only interested in character inputs. So what it tells us is that there can be AI inputs, there can be other inputs, other systems that are telling the character to move somewhere, and we can filter out all of the other inputs to just have character input, right? That's my assumption. This will happen only on authority or simulated proxies. Okay. No, wait. Do nothing input? What is do nothing input? Ah, okay. We get here, this means that pawn is currently not possessed. Ah, yes, if we don't have a controller and we are authority. Okay, so we are doing nothing. Okay, sure. Sorry. And there's a spring component and use pawn control rotate. Oh yes, that's a bad practice. You shouldn't search for component in every frame, right? I would fix that by caching the pointer to spring arm component on the begin play, and on produce input I would only check if it is there, and the pointer is still valid and I would just use it. And if it's not valid, it means something deleted our spring arm component. Depending on the game scenario, it might be a valid scenario. Right, okay, what happens? Like get rotation. Okay, we are getting the current rotation. Our character inputs be going on. Okay, because it is produced in where this is what we're talking about. We are creating this input, right? Using input for and from we are seeing if our saved velocities are correct. We are setting it. Set move input. Directional intent. Thank you. Directional intent. And what is the vector of our direction? And if it is not inserted, move. Set move directional. Okay, let's see those inputs. Move with intent, as in per axis magnitude, right? With a given velocity, as units per second. Straight forward, as fast as possible. straight left and half speed. Okay. Okay, it's just like, just move forward, but we don't care what velocity. There's some velocity. Okay, it's just per axis. Just move forward. Something else will tell me what's the velocity. Here it's like, no, move with this velocity. That's what I'm... Okay, so another truth that I just learned that is kind of related to it, all of it, is that I can... what I understand, I can have two movement input types. One, I can just say, hey, just go in that direction with full speed, right? And something else in the code would tell me what full speed is, right? And I have the... which is awesome when you are just controlling the character and, you know, you're just moving left, right, and you don't care about anything else. But if something else is happening, like for example a dash or other movement type, we might want to say, hey, move in this direction but with this given velocity. This is the exact velocity that I want you to move in that direction. So I have those two modes. And it all is being taken from input. Okay, I know a little bit more right now. Okay, let's get back to shit. I thought I will on some real shit right now. I thought I will be done with going through mover code and blueprints by two 2-hour streams, right? It seems like nope. This stream is ending because I will be only right now able to do 2-hour streams, ending in 37 minutes. And I'm just scratching the surface of the inputs. I didn't even came close to like network reconciliation. I had a dream. I had a dream that maybe I would be able to implement my own movement type here or something before going to Unreal Dev Fest. I don't know if it will happen. We'll see. Let me just go straight to the code. Okay, unproduced input, blah blah blah. Where I was, okay, width is intended for move, which means my input velocity is 0. Yes, of course. Makes sense. Figure out the orientation. Yes. Motive. Yes. Get move. Station intent. Yes. What is this? Vector. Station. It's an intent of changing direction. 0 means we are not changing direction. Okay. So if this is non-zero, the control rotation, it means that we will be changing orientation of the... Alright. Maintain last input orientation. Okay, if there was no input this frame, it means maintain last input. Okay. Should remain vertical. Which means jumping. Jump, no. Now it is like jumping, is jump press, etc. It's just consuming inputs. Okay. Use base relative movement. Means that if we are on something else possibly moving, here's how we deal with it. Okay, I'm also not sure about this code, but we are constantly every frame taking components by class. Word and base. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what this code does exactly. I was thinking that it's connected to like platforms moving or something, but it looks like it's not. Base relative. Whatever base we're standing on. Oh, actually it is used for that. Or leave them in the world space. Okay. Movement base bone. What is a movement base bone? What is this? Get movement base bone. Movement bases that are skeletal meshes. That is the bone that we are based on. Ah, okay. I think I get the intention. So another truth that I just learned is that if your character standing on just a platform, right? Get movement base. Okay. He knows what he's standing on. That's movement base. And moving on a base. Okay, this is the object that we are standing on. Yes. This object that we are standing on is just, you know, like a static mesh, and it's just moving like, I don't know, forward. All of our movement will be, you know, moving around that. But if we are standing on something that has skeletal mesh, like let's say for example a flying dragoon, right? Perfect dragoon. See, I told you I cannot do into art. And it's like breathing fire, and we are on this. It has a lot of bones here, right? And from what I understand, one of those bones can be tagged as movement-based bones, right? That's my assumption. So that means that, for example, we will say that, yeah, orientate all of the movement along this bone, right? And all of the inputs will be oriented around this bone instead of the whole skeletal mesh. That's a cool idea, because then you can plan your characters that you might think, or yeah, you can plan the enemies that your character might walk on in a specific way, and you can make your life easier with calculation. Let's say for example you were supposed to climb like big enemies or something. It could be easier with that system. I like it. I actually like it. Clear our movement. Game world is ticking at a lower rate than the that case. Okay. Okay, so I now know that on produce input is that place in which I could start implementing if I needed like aim assist, lock on targeting system, but this is where I can, you know, like take all of my input information from my controller, from my character, and set it up for my character inputs, so then they can be consumed by the simulation. This is the place where I am setting up things for simulation. So setup. So this is the place of setting up what will happen in the simulation based on the inputs. Inputs can come as this character shows. They can come from controller, but I assume, my hypothesis is that it can be given by AI system also. That's what I'm assuming. Okay, that's cool. Now I know something that I just didn't know before, right? Okay, but what about the simulation, right? What do we have? Does our character contain any blueprint implementations? These are animated many pawns. I don't think they are that I'm interested. Let me get into like content, characters, mannequins. I see no blueprints. Because this will be in pawns. Duh. Animated many. That on. Okay, it has some event. Begin play. Those are related graphics. Receive. Event called after a pawn has been usually called on server for all pawns and on the. Okay. Ah, yes, it is mapping the controls and showing it. And show controls. Okay. Cool. But what is happening with the extended pawn? Oh yeah, we have some meat here. There's more meat to this kebab. Directional dashing, queue up programmatic movement when dashing in the simulation update. Okay. So on simulation think command break mover input command. Get data from collection. Movement input. And then break it again. And ability inputs. Get data from collection, but how does this differ from this? Like what? Ah, because they are two different classes. Character default input, for example. Okay. I get when you are creating this get data from collection. Let me try it. Get data from collection. We don't know what struct it is, right? But if I will just copy it, connect it, then the get data from collection will actually go through all of these inputs and only collect ability. Cool. Great. Then it handles double jump, vault over, all the, programmatical things. Okay, there are things being implemented in Blueprint. Yo. Okay. So, this is some pre-simulation tech. What I assume it means character motion component simulation, right? So before the simulation happens, the inputs are getting unpacked. We can decide, when we get the input command context, we can decide what kind of inputs are of interest of us. We can cache them, like here, movement inputs and ability inputs, and we can just go to town with this, right? Yeah. So let's see what happens. Activate double jump based on input. What happens is it takes movement inputs. Yeah, checks if the jump is being pressed. And are we on the ground? And if we are on the ground, wait, what? If is jump pressed and character is on the ground, then it is true. And then do double jump. Shouldn't be like, yeah, it's jump pressed, but we are not on the ground. And the double jump. Make and queue double jump. Next air jumps. Okay. Make layered move multi-jump. Holy shit, this is what we are talking about. This is how the movement actually is being made, because we are queuing some movement here. Mover component. We are creating it here, and I need to go into this, man. Wow. Some structure that contains the data for the simulation. That's cool. I can say upward speed, many air jumps, override velocity. Priority, we can prioritize. So if 6 systems are telling us to do something, we can prioritize which one is getting calculated first. And what happens in the velocity after move, what happens with velocity. That's cool. This gives me a lot of hope already, because it means that I could separate things beautifully. Here's my another assumption. Here's my next assumption. My assumption is I can divide things really neatly. My assumption is that in the simulation part, I can just create how the movement is being applied, which I assume it will be a mathematic equation, right? And I can create, just like here, as a separate data structure, what data drives this specific movement, right? And there's a queue that just, you know, sees if there's a data that can drive this mathematic formula. I can nicely, tidily divide all of this. That's cool. I like it. I'm already thinking that, yeah, I will be learning this plugin extensively, even though it is experimental for my, you know, personal needs, non-shippable stuff. I will be probably already using it, and if something breaks, I will be just fixing it. Okay. Handle volt over input. That is interesting because that action actually was combining with animation, right? So let's see how this thing from Blueprint looks like. It looks if is volt just pressed, right? It was. Try get volt over parameters, which gives checks if things can be volt over. This is something that I said when at the moment when I started the playing the demo, right? And I approached this small ledge, and there was this there was a string that was saying that, yeah, you can vault over here. It's fall too far. And I said that I'm making an assumption there's a system that checks for the fact that, hey, if you cross this vault, there will be a definitely fall here, right? This is it. It tells you if it can vault over, and if it can. Motion warping component. Okay. I don't know where the motion warping component came in, and I don't know what it is. We will learn. And what happens is add or update warp target from location. This is my target location. Vault start position. This is the step position. This is the landing position. Okay, so beginning and the step position over which I'm going. And cue the next mode. Oh, we are queuing flying, of course, because we're walking. We are playing montage, of course. And after it's finished, without or interrupted, all this warping is done. I don't know what warping is, but I assume that this is what happens. The correction motion component says, I'm flying, gravity doesn't affect me anymore. Motion warping is actually simulating this vaulting movement while animation is being played. That's cool to know, because there are lots of contextual animations in the games and it moves in the games, and it's cool to know that there's an example of that here. Okay, let's go back to the regular pre-simulation tick. Dash input. Again, we are checking for the time input, and was the dash cooldown had passed. Okay. We are getting the direction, of course. Time of the last dash we are setting because we're dashing. There's something going on here, animation wise, which chooses the animation based on direction. Kinda like a simple version of motion matching. Okay. Then layered move is being created. Layered move linear velocity, which says, okay, you will be moving in one direction with linear velocity. Okay. And we are saying what's the velocity. And that's what I've been talking about earlier, right? That we could decide whether we are setting the velocity that we want, or we are just moving in a specific direction at regular characters. Here we are, what I see, just doing the direction intent, right? Of using the velocity, right? So here is where the data for simulation is being constructed. So it is nicely set up. First, we are taking inputs, right? Of course, as you would think, right? Produce. Then I assume there is a pre-simulation tick, right? Before the actual movement simulation happens. From what I understand, we are consuming those inputs here, we are producing inputs here, consuming inputs here, and producing the data for the movement simulation. This is the example of such data. We will be moving in linear velocity, dashing, right? This is the data that will be taken into the account while we are simulating. I got 20 minutes left, and I'm just getting into it. Shit! I wish I didn't have... I don't know. I wish I could stretch the time or something. I wish I didn't have, you know, responsibilities like anyone. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, it's all good. I'm just starting out. 2 hours is enough for me. But I'm getting really excited, and I cannot wait for the next week's stream. We just go really deep on this shit, right? Okay, so here's the example of how data is being constructed for linear velocity. It contains like actual velocity, magnitude over time, which, what I understand, we can change the magnitude of the velocity that applied a given frame over the duration of a move, because we can, there's the duration milliseconds. I haven't seen calculate. So somewhere there is a calculation that decides that the dash duration in this tick will be exactly this, and then this curve can be applied over it. Okay, sick. Override velocity, can add velocity and override everything. Great. And after we finish, here is what happens when the calculation at the end of it is finished. Here's what should supposed to happen. Clamp velocity. Okay. If we are on the ground, if this is true, we will maintain. I feel like this on the ground is being used backwards, because beforehand there was a check for that, but it seemed like it was checking if it was in the air and it can do a double jump. But there was no... What is going on here? No, but it's checking for... I kinda don't get it. Because when we were playing demo, it looked like the dashing state, it was clamping velocity. We could... was stopping harshly on the ground, right? Am I crazy? No. Dash distance. It's supposed to end here, and the velocity stops there. While this fragment of blueprint is telling us, yeah, if character is on the ground at the end of this simulation step, maintain last root velocity. But if it is not on the ground, it's in the air, we should clamp it. Which is, I don't understand, because this looks like the opposite situation. That where we are in the air, we are not stopping, we are still simulating until we fall to the ground, right? No, I'm being a Dumbo. Maintain, if it is on the ground, we'll get the finished velocity mode, but the velocity is being set to 0, right? Set velocity 0, so yes, it is stopping in the ground. Here it is clamp velocity. Finished velocity mode is clamp velocity. Still set to 0, but that will be clamped to 1000. So okay, I guess it makes sense. Okay, and of course the montage is being played. And the montage to plate is being dependent on the direction. Okay, cool. Still aiming. This is the ADS, right? Set is aim pressed. If not oriented rotation. And if it is, it should be safe. Okay. So that takes care of the pre-simulation tick. And it's cool because it shows you that when you are working with the character movement component, you can set up how you will consume those inputs and what moves to simulate you will set up with what data, both in code and in Blueprint, which is a good info for people that don't like code and want to use only Blueprint. And it's also a good info for guys like me that are just, you know, kind of lazy and sometimes they don't want to get into code when I'm just testing shit out, right? But yeah, okay, so what we have more? Listening to mode switch. Okay, if movement is being changed. Walking. Older mode name is walking, new mode falling. Jump is... Now this makes sense. Okay. There was like handle double jump beforehand when I was flabbergasted that why we are checking on the ground, and if we are on the ground we are saying that we could double jump. Now it makes more sense because this is the moment where we are checking, hey, if we were walking in the previous frame and now we are falling, it means that we can double jump, right? And we will double jump. That's where this happens. We are queuing the double jump. Okay, it makes more sense to me. Like zipline transfer from what I... Yeah, it's ziplining. Ziplining the... Sure. There's some fly, very annoying fly here. Here's when we are capturing. Okay, so all the data capture for dash is being done here. That's cool. We're putting camera in new location. Yeah, so this is just for this. Okay, cool. Lots of stuff happening. Oh, and we have overridden version of the onProduce input function in Blueprint too. It just makes mover example ability inputs. Add data to collection. Ah, okay. Does basically the same. It takes those Blueprint inputs, just puts them into the input queue, right? Then just resets them. That makes sense. Action script. Oh, there's some logic here. This is the logic that kind of produces where to go. Find potential valuable obstacle in front of us. Ray testing be higher until we have a blocking hit. Okay, this is dying light shit. Perform downward traces. This is what checks if we are... what is behind the obstacle. Or we are trying to find a moment where we should look down. This is where we are searching for landing point. Okay, okay, that's cool. Cool that we have this shit. By IMP. Ah yes, this is mapping context. Zipline transfer, okay. Settings here. Tab like the forward dash is it. Okay, cool, cool. This is an extended. Didn't change anything. File. Get back to the code. Right? Okay, okay. But there's one thing that I'm just asking myself right. Ah, okay. Let me gather my notes quick. Because we have 11 minutes till the end. Yay! Okay. What I know right now. Whoa. That if I'm creating my new character that will just use the mover component, right? I need to use this input interface, right? And I used to have, yes. That's one thing. The other thing that I do know is that I have a on produce function. This is the function where I can get all of my inputs either from keyboard, mouse, gamepad, right? Or from AI systems or other systems. This is where I create my input queue, right? This is where I can decide to ignore some inputs depending on my mode, etc. Then I have a pre-simulation tick in which I am put collection, right? On produce input creates input collection, and this input collection will be consumed in pre-simulation tick. That unpacks all these inputs, right? And Q is a funny word in English. Q. You say only the first letter, Q, but you write it Q, U, E, U, E. And Q's, this pre-simulation tick cues the movement for simulation. This is also where I can be like, oh, I can create all the logic depending on the inputs that I collected. I can ignore something, etc., etc. I don't really gather things from controller here. Here's after gathering, right? I'm unpacking it, filtering through my logic, and I'm queuing movements. What I want to see, will there be a simulation tick? I hope, and post simulation, right? And how all of this relates to network, right? Because from what I saw right now, when from what I saw here, there was a calculation of how long the dash duration will. Let me see how it is being calculated. It's just a get. But what? Okay, so there's no calculation. It's just set value. Okay, whatever. But I don't know. But I'm assuming I will know for how there is something that will tell me how long my next frame of simulation might be. Right? There will be some simulation here, something post simulation. I want to know how it connects to the network. Because this thing is only done on local clients, right? Local client, my machine. Server doesn't know what's going on, right? I want to know how the data from pre-simulation taken from the queue is being first taken into the account in the simulation, but how this is being sent through the network to dedicated server. Oh my god, dedicated server. I want to know that. And what are the synchronization points? What is the lag compensation? How does it know when the movement ended to synchronize all of this shit? I have 6 minutes to find this shit out. Nah, I'm joking. These are probably the questions more for the next stream. Yeah, these are questions for the next stream. I don't know that. So the next stream I will be actually going through character movement component, which from what I see features nothing. It just contains like movement stuff, movement mode stuff, right? But I want to get into simulation, which I think will be covered here. Yep. This is, yes, pre-simulation tick, post-movement, post-simulation tick. Yep. Yep, on post simulation rollback. when a rollback has occurred, which means server says that no, your character hasn't moved here, it moved here. This is what I was talking about, how the synchronization is being achieved. And on movement mode, this is what I will be going through. This movement mixer, mixing proposed move, input producer, optional object for... Whoa, there's a lot of stuff to go through here, my friends. A lot of stuff. State machine, wow! Yeah, to do also a long type of alternate... Okay, so maybe... Okay, so in the future maybe I could just hook up state trees. There are state machines, so maybe we could create like a complicated movements. Wow, mover, network physics, liaison component. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Base movement mode, and debugger. Whoa, 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 there's some debugger here to show things. That's great. That's what I will be getting into the next time on this stream. I will be trying to answer this question. How the simulation works, how does the Q moves are being simulated, right? Then I want to see how it all goes through the network, how the rollback works, synchronization works, right? What kind of control do we have? What happens in post-sim? I already saw that there are 2 post simulations, right? I want to see what kind of debug tools do I have here. Finally, for the next stream, I wanna have maybe I will Kylie, you move. Maybe we will see. Yep, that will be my questions for the next stream. And next stream is going to be on Thursday next week. Supposed to be the 13th of June. Yep, June. Same time, 5:30 Warsaw time till 7:30 Warsaw time. The week after that, where the Unreal Dev Fest happens, I don't know if I will be able to do a stream at the same exact hour. So there might not be a regular stream, there might be like some different stream where I will be covering what was going on Unreal Dev Fest. Was I able to talk to the guy that created the movers, plugin? What I learned from that, etc, etc. So this will be more like a report from Unreal Dev Fest. After that, we will see if I will have more questions about Mover, or will we get to two series that I'm hoping to have here. We will see. This has been my first stream. My name is Adorolzo, and this has been a real game development, real game learning. As you can see, I did a lot of fuck-ups. I have a couple of things to smooth out, like for example, setting up the proper stream schedule on YouTube, because that didn't work out. I have some weird smear while streaming that will be gone the moment I stop streaming. I have a couple of things to resolve here, to learn here. It's been good. I liked it. I hope you liked it. I will be learning from that. It's been good. It's been real. And I hope you have a good day or good night or good time in general. And that's been me. And I'm out. See ya.